You are listening to a pleasure podcast. For more from our Sex Podcast Collective, visit pleasurepodcasts.com.
Hi, and welcome back to the Horny Housewife Podcast, or welcome. I'm going to keep today's intro short and sweet. You're like, thank God. We will resume. I saw a TikTok segment next week, but today I've got some juicy listener questions. I did 2 questions because they were both pretty loaded, swinging couple, dabbling double standards. And then we have a husband who has came forward with his funded IG thirst traps. He was paying for them. So, oh God, we'll talk about it. Today's topic of the hour, I'm going to tell you how you can get hotter right now. You can become better in bed right now. Stuff we could do today to get that hotter, better in bed. Choo-choo train rolling, men and women. So stay tuned. Let's get into it. It's time. It's time for listener questions. Are you ready to rumble? Rumble, okay. Hello. My wife and I have been together for a very long time, just shy of 23 years. A very long time. Married for almost 15. My wife and I have had conversations about getting together so young and not being able to experience certain experiences. We tried doing what we called a get out of jail free card, where we would allow each other to have experiences with other people. The rule was to communicate the want for this experience and who it with. Then we would talk about it and then make it happen. I found out my wife, who was not married at the time, had attempted an experience with my coworker and our neighbor. I found out through him while we were working. Long story short, she said he couldn't get hard and nothing happened. After that, she came to me and said she didn't want this to happen anymore, and she didn't like the feeling she got while doing this with a neighbor. I'm sure she didn't. That was attempt number 1. Now, fast forward 20 years later, we're dabbing with swinging. We met a couple and we got to know them and tried to play with them once. During this buildup of the relationship with the other couple, I talked about having a solo experience with other partners. By the time she had met a security guard at the time and was working that checked all her boxes, she was attempting to schedule an experience with him, and he would cancel last minute and express his regret immediately after doing so. With that being said, she was all for moving forward with her experience with him. I then tried to ask if I could have an experience with a female from the couple. She gave me excuses like, I don't want it to mess up the relationship with all 4 of us. Oh, I know what's going on, I think. Or I don't know if I can allow you to do that without me. So I tried to ask the couple if my wife and I could have a threesome with the female. Her husband wanted to be involved naturally, and he was okay with me being with her alone, but not with both of us being with his wife. Attempt number 12, kidding, but I lost count. I had opportunities to be with other women, but she has always had an excuse as to why I cannot do this without her. My wife is a big girl, and I am a petite man, so sometimes it's hard to do things with my wife, especially things like head in the car or a quickie in a tight space. I've expressed my desire to have an experience with a small and petite woman. How did that go over? It shooketh me to my core. I want to feel like the bigger person. I understand. Okay, I'm going to be empathetic and not a bitch. I want to be able to do things that I can't with my wife. I have expressed this for years. I wish my wife could be smaller. Okay. I wish she had enough of a desire to be smaller. Oh, that she would do the things she had to lose the weight. Is this getting extreme? Ozempic. Just kidding. She only goes to the gym when I take her, in my opinion, and she only gives maybe 70%. She gets off the treadmill and walks. Anyways, this isn't about that. It's about me wanting something I can't get from my wife. Am I a bad person for wanting to feel big for once? No, you're not a bad person for that desire, but hold. For wanting a smaller partner for an experience, I don't want to love anybody else. I love my wife and I want to grow old with her. It's not about love, but love involves 2 people, right? In this case. So So it's like you can't have your cake and your ice cream. You can't have your cake and your ice cream. You can't have your cake. Okay. I wish she would allow this. I wish she'd be okay with it. She's perfectly fine going out and having an experience with another man without me, and I'm okay with it as well. But I'm not allowed to? Is this double standards? Is that fair? I mean, I guess it's double. I guess there is a double standard as you're okay with it and she's not, but that's okay. That's allowed, right? That is fair because it's two adults consenting to something and someone not being okay with it. It's a boundary. And so if you're like, well, I'm not okay with it being I can't, but you can with the opposite sex, so we need to either get on the same page where this is okay or nothing, because I think it's going to make both of us resentful in the end. I'm going to feel resentful because I'm going to feel like I sat back and was okay with you doing all this and it doesn't bother you for whatever reason, probably because men generally are better at compartmentalizing. Men are waffles, women are spaghetti, all entangled, and like our bad morning, our bad this can intertwine with this and then affect this and affect that. And we want the connection before the sex and blah, blah, blah. Where men, it can be like, sex can be heartless if they want it to be. And they can be like, I have zero feelings for that person and had sex with them. And that doesn't impact my love over here. Like they're weird, right? But boundaries, morals, ethics, values. Did I say values? The couple has those two people and nobody else matters, not even what I think about what can and cannot go down in the relationship. So if something is posing a problem, ruffling your feathers, making you feel like, I don't like this, but you're okay with it. And just because you don't understand why she's not, doesn't make it okay. Like, she's entitled to her own feelings. And from what I've read, which I think I got a tiny bit more, he says, should I understand this is not something I'm going to be able to have? I'm 42 and horny. Our sex life is great and fun. We spice it up. We go to parties. We have sex in front of others. But this is one thing that's not allowed. Help me understand. So I'll help you understand. You can't have everything you fucking want, okay? Because I don't believe, this is personal opinion, that we are like here living life to have every single fleshly desire met, okay? I know there are like 1%ers that exist that walk around and like fuck whatever they want, whenever they want, and they like what they think is freaky would scare the shit out of us. But they live in a different world, right? And I don't think a world that we'd want to live in, to be quite honest. Like I'm thinking LA. Sorry, no hate. But like really, really worldly, insatiable, where you're so desensitized that you have to like, they need more and more and more just to feel alive, to feel aroused. It's like, no, okay? I'm not saying I think people need to stay in miserable situations where their needs aren't met, but kind sir, you're in a situation that seems really adventurous and that y'all are both like really adventurous and sexual and open and a little more like free with your bodies, to each their own. I would assume as a woman and hearing what you're saying that she probably feels insecure, that experience with the neighbor and then him not being able to perform, whether it had nothing to do with her, because there's plenty of times a man can't perform because he's in his own head, his dick doesn't, he struggles with ED, like it could be a million things. But a lot of women take it personally and they think, oh, it was me, I'm not attractive enough, etc. She could have internalized that and blamed herself, even if it had nothing to do with her. But she might also feel self-conscious about her size and her body. Maybe you're like, no, she seems so confident. She seems so free. Doesn't mean, the most people often will be like, because I am able to talk at a loud volume. I don't know why, but sometimes people will be like, oh, you seem so confident. Or like, you don't seem like whatever. But the people that really know me, and maybe the people that don't really know me, I can be very insecure. Like, you know what I mean? I can feel really insecure about certain things. So, and we all can, every single person, some more than others. So it doesn't matter how confidently she shows up, fake it till you make it. That's what I do and what I suggest people to do, because it's easier and you seem to get somewhere. Like, it ends up being real at some point when you keep showing up, even if it doesn't feel real and authentic. It's almost like you're like training yourself to show up confident. She might feel super insecure, and clearly, because no matter what, she doesn't want you to go have these experiences alone. And maybe she feels like, this makes you happy and you turned on and you like it. And she's getting a little bit of her cake and ice cream, right? Like, she's able to go do what she wants, and then she gets to kibosh your plans if she doesn't like them. So maybe this isn't the kind of lifestyle that you want to be a part of, but maybe you're like, no, I'm kind of cucky and it actually really turns me on, her going and doing her own thing. Or is it, I want her to be able to do that. I don't really care because I want to be able to too. And then I feel less of a dick if I know she's doing her own thing, kind of thing. I don't know. But I can see it going, if you finally beat her into submission, as far as like, hey, you do this. It's really not fair that you can go be with other men and I okay it and we're good and I know that nothing's messing this up. Do you though? But you won't let me. What if, because of her own experiences, she's projecting? It could be so many things. I'm just running through the things. What if she's like, no, I get little crushes on these guys. It would not surprise me. I mean, we've heard this story a million times. People that have opened up or swing and someone catches feelings, something happens here. You hear it all the time. So I know there's people that are like, no. Like, I'll never forget when I interviewed the swing couple. They're rare, okay? There are two people that are incredibly intentional, and we don't even know. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors. We don't know what they fight about. We don't know what they experience. And I don't want, that lifestyle's not for me, I was extremely curious. I love asking all the things, but now that I've gotten to ask so many of them, all the questions, it's even more like, that would not be for me. But for some it is. Great. Requires extra communication, extra vulnerability. I mean, you have to be like an extra evolved person, an extra solid couple for that to be non-toxic and not chaotic. That's the opinion I have. Extremely. Your wife may be worried about what's going to go down if these solo escapades, experiences happen, and if maybe she'll become like, take a back seat. And you're like, no. You can reassure her, all those things. But if you go forward, she may end up feeling some type of way. It may impact your marriage and that love negatively. And I would hope that if you were like, okay, we had some experiences, let's reel it back in, focus on one another. Now, bringing up the desensitization, you're like, well, if I've already been exposed to this and now this is going to be so boring. Mindset really will play a big part. If you believe it's just going to be poop and it's never going to be exciting again, like, get ready for your poopy, non-exciting life, okay? There may be an insatiable aspect where you feel this, like, but I want that, like you said, you want to feel bigger, you want to feel these feelings. It's almost like external source of validation or something that makes you like an ego stroke of sorts, okay? And you're not a bad person for like desiring to feel bigger. I bet if if we went through everybody's little brain, if I could scroll through every woman and man, every man and wife over the course of the decades you've been married, that you haven't had a thought of like a man doing this to you, a woman doing that to you, you doing that to them, what it would be like if it was like this, what would it be like if you would have done that? Well, natural curiosity that you don't act upon, because if you acted on it, you'd blow your whole fucking life up. This human experience, there's going to be times, I'm sitting on my foot and I'm getting a Charlie horse. In this human experience, I think I guess suffering is inevitable. To the extent, I guess we can, buck up and get up. But this longing to, I'm gotta fuck every which way this way. If I don't have the anal, she won't give me anal, and so all I want is anal. It really is like what you dwell on and what you long for, and that'll just keep expanding. So be mindful of like what you're focusing on. You're saying you're 42 and so horny. I think that's a lot of guys, but what's with the guys that are already so horny that get on testosterone? Can y'all tell me, anyone listening, any couples that have maybe dabbled in this lifestyle or like, they know the song they're singing? Message me. Go to the hornyhousewifepodcast.com and give some feedback. I would love to share a response from a couple who can first-handedly relate. Is that a word, handedly? And I will pass along. Sometimes I just take the info, if there's feedback, and I directly send it to the person who asked me the question. That's what I would have wanted, just in case. So you're not a bad person, rule that out. But it doesn't mean you need to act on it. It doesn't mean you need to go and think life isn't worth living. Maybe there is some acceptance, but it doesn't mean you have to accept her doing whatever the fuck she wants. So have a conversation, share your frustrations, but then also share that you understand that if you just like get your way or like, wifey, I know this is how I feel. I'm frustrated. I feel like there's a double standard. I feel like it's not fair. I don't understand. Help me understand. And then maybe that'll bring y'all closer together if she gets vulnerable and shares her insecurities. Maybe she will, maybe she won't. Depends if ego's in the driver's seat or not. You saying get smaller so you can suck my dick in the car is not going to go over well, okay? It's not going to go over well. If she wants to lose weight and she wants to be smaller, that's going to be because she wants to lose the weight and she wants to be smaller. It is not going to be because you're going to pester her. Maybe she gives 70% at the gym because it's hard. Maybe that's just not her jam. Encouraging her and keep inviting her to the gym. When you go out to eat, be mindful of where you're going out to eat. I think like making it about health would be a better route to go. So use like the health to be like, I care. I want you to live a long time. I want you to be healthy. Your heart to be healthy, your blood pressure to be low, you to feel your best, your energy levels, your libido, all of that. And that means being active, eating right, and taking care of your body. So that, maybe Life RX is your jam, but not being like, baby, I'm dying for you to be smaller so that we can fuck in a tight space. You can't suck my dick in a car. That might not go over well. I don't think you're a monster, but I think you may be insatiable and you might have to just get over it and have a conversation and see where you're going to go from there. That's what I think. Okay, moving on. Let's be honest, guys. Life can be a lot sometimes, and sometimes you want to chill. Sometimes you need to focus. Like, you don't just want to, you freaking need to. And sometimes you just want to feel good. And that is exactly what Via was made for. Via is the go-to brand for effect-based hemp products that are actually designed to do something. So whether you're looking for a deeper sleep, better focus, more balance, or just a gentle high, you'll find something that fits your vibe. With different products and strengths, VIA lets you fully customize your experience to fit your needs. Whether you are looking to support your daily wellness routine, enhance focus and clarity, or unwind with deep relaxation, give me those VIA sleep gummies. Sleep pills, who? Okay? Take it to the VIA, take it to the hemp. I got you covered in a holistic way. I love that. For their award-winning effect-forward gummies, they don't just throw CBD or THC in and call it a day. Each formula is intentionally crafted with a purpose. Love it. Like maca for energy, L-theanine for calm, or THCV for focus and clarity. So every gummy delivers a real targeted effect you can actually feel. Don't we love the intentionality of VIA? And the best part, guys, is VIA legally ships across the U.S., discreet, direct to your door, no medical card required, and backed by a worry-free guarantee. Not sure where to start? Take VIA's product finder quiz to get personalized recommendations tailored to your needs. It takes less than 60 seconds to complete, so go check it out. So if you're 21 and up, treat yourself off to 15% off and a free gift with your first order using my exclusive code HOUSEWIFE at viahemp.com. Plus, get free shipping on orders over $100. That's VIAHEMP, VIAHEMP.com, or just click the link in the episode notes. Guys, enter the room Doc first. Get that Blue Chew Doc. Blue Chew is an online prescription service offering the same active ingredients that are in Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra, but in chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. So not only is it affordable and easy to do, comes right to your door, no doctor's visits, no waiting in line. We love convenience, but you could be missing out on the best sex ever, okay? Going multiple rounds, longer, harder, better, entering the room. Oh my gosh, look at that dick. I'm gonna tell all my friends, oh my God, Todd's dick was just 10 out of 10. I was like, what's going on? It made me feel so pretty because girls are like that. It's going to leave a lasting impression if you catch my drift. So give it a whirl. Why not? No brainer. If you go to bluechew.com and use code HOUSEWIFE at checkout, you're going to get your first month free. So hop on that. bluechew.com, code HOUSEWIFE, or just click the link below. This one. Okay. Question number 2. This man's going to get yelled at by me. Hello, Jordan. I'm in need of some sisterly advice. My wife and I have been married for 9 years. We have 2 boys. They're young. We're pretty great together with the occasional hiccup, but nothing out of the ordinary. We've been working on merging our finances and accounts to better manage. Last month, that matters because this is how this came about. Last month, I paid $5 to subscribe to some girl on Instagram. A thirst trap, if you will. I got sucked in. She saw the charge a week later when I was heading home from work. She said to me that she was disgusted with me and herself, as well as saying she's glad I'm enough for her. You're in trouble. Topped all that off with a condescending, we need to save money. $5 on a bitch. I added that part. There was nothing I could say in that moment. Good boy. To help the situation. Okay. I owned up to it. Good boy. Apologized. Good boy. But she didn't want to hear any of it. Not surprised. I tried explaining that it wasn't porn or even nudity. That made her laugh. Yeah, that made me laugh too. I'd be like, that's worse. That's fucking worse. That's fucking worse. God, if someone walked by butt naked, you're like, okay. You see, you're scrolling on IG. You pick your algorithm, by the way. So if you're staring at the girl, you're staring at her, okay? And then the algorithm said, oh, we spent 10 minutes. 10 minutes. But you saw a thirst trap. You're like, you're dogging me. This isn't what I asked for. And you're like, I'm going to pay her $5 to see more. So I just feel like it's a slippery slope, okay? We're sisterly advice. Brother, never. No OnlyFans girls, no social media bitches. Period, okay? Y'all can already get away with, and we don't like it, and it's not cool. Following another bitch, liking another bitch's picture, like the audacity to click the follow, I'm in the exception. I'm educating everybody, okay? I'm not thirst trapping. There's no thirst trap pictures of me anywhere. Why did I make this? Isn't even about me. Men that go out of their way to click the like. I'm sorry, you're my brother. I'm sisterly advice. I just want to tell you, I know you're a man. I know you're just merely a man, okay? I know you are visually stimulated and I get it. But listen, respect. It's called respect and being smart. Because technically, you can still see people, right? And pictures and beautiful women. But to go the extra step of the fire emoji, responding to a story, liking it. Why? You wanting to let that girl know that you think she's pretty? What? She doesn't give a fuck about you. Not even a little bit. That girl doesn't give a fuck about you. If anything, yeah. And you know that. But even the girls that are nice and respond, they're automated. Like, all those girls, they're automated responses. You think they're not, and they are, even on their OnlyFans, especially on their OnlyFans. People, if they have over 100,000 people that are subscribed to their whatever, they 100% have people that are responding that probably aren't even a female, okay? So there's that. And then it's just like there's free porn, which there's a lot of women, including myself, who would have an issue with that just because only if it interfered. If it was negatively impacting my sex life, there would be an issue regardless of the platform. But you said y'all are good, blah, blah, blah. It rightfully hurt our feelings. I know it's just $5, but it's insulting to us as women. It's insulting. It's like, it's insulting. It just doesn't feel very good. It's hard for us to understand the why, the logic. And I don't get why it's hard for men to understand why this hurts our feelings. Okay, let's go back. She didn't talk to me for about 3 days unless necessary for our kids. I came to her for the first 2 days attempting to talk, but all she would say is there's nothing else to talk about. Okay, women, I know this woman didn't mean that. She's just really, really mad and maybe is avoidant or like stonewally silence treatment behavior of like some women trip out, freak out when they get mad, and some women just shut the fuck down. And usually like the worse it is, like the more we tend to go on the shutdown side. If it's like really bad, we're like, I don't know what to do with this. So there is something to talk about. And so if a woman ever says that to you, there's nothing to talk about. Men, if you know damn well there is, but you're like, I'll take it, avoid the cover, I'll take it, okay, love you, babe. You should just say, I see you're not ready right now to talk about it, and I understand, like I see you're frustrated, and I can see how this felt shitty for you, hurt your feelings. And whenever you're ready to talk about it and we can talk about it, I'm ready and I'm here and I'm waiting and I love you. That could make it all better. Like if a man has that emotional intelligence to see that and say that when she's pushing you away and she's pushing you away and you still grab on and let her know you love her, appreciate her, and are going to be here ready to talk about it and work through it. and see how we can course correct so something like this doesn't happen again, everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. And you did a really good job handling that. So that is what a man should say when their wife says, there's nothing to talk about. There is. I've been really, really mad at Derek. Couldn't talk about it like in that moment because both of our lids are flipped. So there's no rational, logical conversation going to go down. And then the next day when we both said we're going to talk about it, I'll be like, I don't want to bring it up now. It's really important to still talk about it because even though it's not fun, even though it can be uncomfortable, and a lot of people that avoid it and never revisit and they have a bad habit of that is because when they revisit it, they get in a fight again. And that means that you both need to go to therapy. That means that you're still you're in defensive mode. If every single communication feels like a personal attack, it probably means you need to do some work on yourself. Because while you're like, but no, they're saying you never, you always, blah, blah, blah. I know those aren't the best statements. Like you're gonna put someone in defense mode when it's the you never, you always, why can't, blah, 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 blah. So the delivery matters. But if you're sitting down to work something out, please keep that at the forefront. We're going to be intentional about this conversation, and it is to get on the same page, or maybe we'll be agreeing to disagree. Maybe we'll be validating one another's perspective and then sharing our own. Maybe we'll be searching for deeper understanding of why the other person feels the way they do because we don't understand. But you're there to have the conversation with the common goal to walk through it, to move forward, to be me and you against the issue, not the issue in between you and her. Okay? So, little tip for the future, because it's already been past that. But anyways, I had to say that. On the third day, she finally came to me and asked if there's been more in the past, how long, how often, and if I've cheated on her. I answered with the truth for all. Yes to a previous, a bit over a year more often. I didn't know what she meant by how often, so I said 2 to 3 times a week. Never answer a question without clarity on the question, okay? You're going to get yourself in bigger hot water answering a question that you don't even know what the fucking question is, okay? Which she replied saying, how can I believe you? I don't trust you. And that's when you would say, what could I do to bring you peace of mind? If my answers are not going to be suffice, what could I show you, do for you to prove to you that I'm meaning what I say? And if there is nothing, what do you want to do about it? I want to be married to you. I love you. I'm committed to you. I obviously fucked up. I viewed past tense it differently, and whenever you want, I can share with you how I compartmentalize those things to where I have to remind myself that men are waffles and women are spaghetti. Maybe don't say that, but I would tread lightly on the your perspective part first. I would first want to validate hers, fine, ask her the most questions. You took accountability. You owned up to it. You sound like a good guy. And other girls like, we gave $5 to a girl. But you sound like a good guy. And just maybe one who didn't know that that's not cool to us. That's not cool. Derek would never do that because he knows I would kill him. Like, that's not cool. And maybe you guys are like, that's so stupid, but it's not. Like, you wouldn't catch us doing that. And guys would go, we wouldn't care if you did. We view it differently. So if you want us to like you, then don't. How much trouble do you want to be in? I tried talking to her, but she reverted back to that same, I don't trust you or believe you. She messaged me on the third day while she was at work saying, it's sad how I can find time for my habit, but do the bare minimum at home, which is far from the truth. I'm the primary person that takes care of the home, and that pissed me off. We were able to talk that night, and she was more calm and receptive. She asked how often would I do this, which I replied to, what do you think it is? I paid $5, but to have access to a girl's IG for the month. It's like a modern day Playboy. That seemed to change her perspective. Well, I'm glad she was able to like see your POV. But I guess for some of us married women, like as a sister, I would say that like we don't sit there and put our focus on lusting another person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand there's, like, novelty and fun and, like, shit. Like, couples that watch porn together, you know, I guess it just depends if it bothers your wife or not. And that's really all that matters. And if someone's wife doesn't care, more power to them. And if someone's wife cares, a happy wife, happy life. And I know the men hate that. Happy spouse, happy house. That's what it is. Happy spouse, happy house. I apologized once again and mentioned that this was unintentional. I didn't mean to hurt her. She intentionally attacked me and my character, made me feel like shit, which I get that's probably what she felt. Yeah, hurt people. What's hard for me to get over is that she wanted to hurt me and was ready to call it quits for us. We were able to come to terms, set boundaries, call it rules for us to move forward. Great. I had suggested therapy and she decided to start after this. This is good. She's a very anxious person and struggles with abandonment because she was given up for adoption at months of age. She said she was going to bring up lashing out at loved ones as well. Your wife sounds like an amazing person who is so willing to see your side of things and then also self-reflect and look at herself. And being a fellow anxious attached girly pop, and there's lots of us out there, and I'm guaranteed that is one major stem from that, but I guarantee you there's a ton of other little T's or big T's traumas that added to that anxiousness and feeling the way she does and how she shows up in relationships. And those questions like, are you cheating on me? How often do you do this? Like, so many of us girls would mentally spiral. It's so little and non-important and meaningless to guys. It's just like hot thirst traps. But to a lot of women, it feels devastating. It feels so hurtful. And I get how a man could go, well, that's not my problem. But the boundaries, y'all seem to have that figured out. But just sharing the POV of sometimes women, and I know it's silly because it's silly, but I'm just telling you how you can go about it. Because therapy, she can hopefully move to a more securely attached place while you're simultaneously working on yourself and how you attach in relationships. There's a great chance that you could be avoidant attached, or maybe you're secure attached, but that's very rare that someone's just this perfectly securely attached individual. Usually we are products of our environment and that our parents fucked up like every parent fucks up in some way. So, the anxious girlies tend to feel abandoned, like you said, where it can feel like something derails our relationship and it feels like the end of the fucking world. It feels like hopeless. It feels black or white. It is not like the gray is harder to find. And all we want is a reassuring statement of I'm not going anywhere. I love you. We're going to get through this. Like just these statements of like, we got this. You and I got this. You and I are going to work through this. I love you. I'm here for you. I'm not going anywhere. And asking the person who is anxious in the relationship, what can I say in those moments that maybe we need to like walk away from each other, take a breather, but what could I say in that moment so that you don't feel abandoned? Like, for instance, if there's an avoidant and an anxious attached that are in a relationship, when conflict arises, the anxious might want to go all in and talk it to death, figure it out, chase, suffocate, and the avoidance going to withdraw, shut down, stonewall, get away from me, come help me, get away from me. Don't you love me? Can't you stand asking for space? Why don't you respect me? Do you see what I'm saying? And in those moments, this is where the avoidant would say, hey, I need to revisit this. You're worked up, I'm pissed off, I don't want to talk to you right now. I love you, even though I'm pissed the fuck off right now. I don't want to talk to you right now, but we can talk about it later. I'm committed to our marriage. I'll talk to you in a few hours. Let's go cool down. I'm committed to our marriage. Let's take some space for a second and revisit the conversation. But just that reassuring statement, I'm committed to you and me, can do wonders for that in-between time of revisiting and the conflict. Wonders. Try it next time. Avoidance. All has been better, and we're working on rebuilding our trust. There's one thing that has been bothering me so much, and I don't know why. We know each other's passwords to our phones. Oh my God. Since then, she changed hers. I will come clean. I was curious about what she had mentioned to others. I haven't asked her why she changed it or what it is now. She still knows mine. I feel like we're in this weird limbo of being good, but one thing could have it all come crashing down. You know why you feel like that? Because you have maybe shelved it a little bit. And you're showing up for the kids and you're talking and there's lip service, but it's kind of like maybe she feels betrayed. And I think going to her and validating, like everything I just shared you as a woman, as another anxious bitch, what probably went through her head of feeling not pretty enough. Like I get that, guys, there's going to be people listening that roll their fucking eyes. But this is what goes through women's head. We would roll our eyes at the shit that goes through your heads. But anxious girlies, it can make us feel like, am I not good enough? Am I not pretty enough? Are they bored of me? They've got to be bored of me. Why wouldn't they be bored of me? Something I forgot to mention in the last question is of course, that girl's worried. New relationship energy. If you see something new, shiny, of course, that's more visually stimulating than the thing that you've seen every day for however many years. You get what I'm saying? Duh. So I'm sure that made her feel super fucking shitty. And because we all do have ego, it's hard for her to want to say that, So I think going and validating her and not be like, yeah, that girl's smoking hot. I could say that make you feel bad. Just being like, I've thought about it and I can just see how that feels. You said you did, but in case you didn't say, I can see how that would feel really disrespectful, make you worry, spiral in your thoughts. And I want to make sure that I'm showing up for you in a way that you feel emotionally supported. I don't want to lose you. I value you so much. I love you so much. I want to get old with you. I want to do everything, do the whole fucking spiel, okay? She'll love that shit. Avoidant girlies maybe don't, but she'll love that shit because you said she was anxious. She'll love that shit. But the phone password thing, I think it's one of three things, or a combination of all three, or two. One, she's being petty and trying to arouse suspicion when there's nothing. Have I been guilty of arousing suspicion? Yeah. I've blatantly lied and said things just to see if I can get a reaction. Okay, toxic. #toxic. Don't do that. She could be arousing suspicion and will he notice? Does he care? Does he look? Does he care about things like I care? Yeah, how did you stumble upon this? So she doesn't know you know. Use her face at night. No, I'm being toxic. Find out and look. She feels like, fuck this dude. If he wants to play like that, I'll play like this. But if you're like, no, she would never. Maybe it's she's been talking to her friends or family about this situation, and she doesn't want you to read those conversations or her notes app or her Google history. Maybe she called a divorce attorney. I'm spiraling for you. But there's obviously something that she doesn't want you to see. And I know it's uncomfortable. And I'm not saying that you open your phone and show me right now. But what you could say, and then just leave it like this, which will take some discipline. But what you could say is say, hey, I don't want to start anything. Maybe this will start something, but I have to say it because I'm not going to do this, Claire. I'm going to pretend she's Claire. Claire, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do this, pretend everything's okay when I can clearly tell that it feels okay, but it also feels like if something happened, the whole world will crash down. Exactly what you said to me, say that to her. Say, I don't need you to show me anything if you don't want to. I want to respect you and your privacy. But I do know that we always had like this open, my phone, like, my password. You can see anything you fucking want to see at any time, at any place, no questions asked. If that gives you peace of mind. And I know I'm the one that made you feel like our trust was lost. And I'm the one that put us in this predicament of figuring out boundaries. Like, this is what set the ball rolling, was my actions. And it brought some stuff up to the surface. And I want to navigate it with you. But I want to know how you feel. I want to know what you're experiencing. And if this creates more secrets, it makes me scared, Claire. I'm worried. Is the momentum going to get going in a direction that I don't want it to get going? Are we headed in the right direction? Are we doing what's necessary for our marriage to repair, get better, thrive at some point? Is that what we're doing? Or are you doing your own thing? And I know my actions have led to you feeling maybe insecure, maybe questioning things, but I'll be honest, Claire, I'm feeling insecure. I'm questioning things. I'm wondering if my wife is now 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and I don't know if you changed your phone password because you just wanted to have some conversations that you didn't want me to see, and that's fine. You're entitled to that. But just kind of like how you came back with those thoughts after you saw what I did, I can't help but have these thoughts of, is my wife talking to another guy trying to get back at me? Is she talking to, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's fair to ask questions instead of like play a game or let it fester. And it is a red flag, and maybe I'm hoping that she's just being petty and wants to see if you notice and care. Because sometimes that's the case. Girls just like, do you even care? So fingers crossed. But I think it'll all be okay if you're both committed to like writing this out. And now you know that you're not going to do any of that thirst trap bullshit, okay? Because is that worth it? Was not worth it, was it? That was not worth it. Moving onward. Guys, bigger loads are not just sexier, they also feel really good because the force of a man's cum actually makes their muscles work harder, leading to a more intense orgasm. So if you feel like you're not getting the same pop as you used to, increasing your load size can make the sex better for you and your partner and make it taste better. Today's sponsor, Popstar, is the first supplement designed by doctors to promote semen volume, enhance semen taste, and support overall semen health. So check. want to show up as the best version of ourselves. And that includes what's coming out of our dicks. I don't have a dick, but your dick. Stronger, more intense orgasm, larger ejaculate, enhance the taste to sweet pineapple flavor, healthy, doctor tested, safe to put in your body, vegan, non-GMO, fair trade, made in America, all natural product. Love to hear it. 60-day money-back guarantee. This is going to lead to better sex and more confidence in the bedroom. And right now, Popstar's offering my listeners 20% off when you enter code HornyHousewife at popstarlabs.com/hornyhousewife, or just click the link in the episode notes. One more time, that's popstarlabs.com/hornyhousewife to get 20% off your purchase. Okay, she's yapped plenty, but I'm going to just fire off some tips, some inspo for husbands and wives, lovers, not friends. What you can do to be hotter today, better in bed today. What can I start doing right now? How can I get the ball rolling today? Okay. Some of these things may take longer to, bear the fruit of, but some of these are like TikTok on the clock, CN5. I'm going to stop listening to this episode and I'm going to go do that. What am I going to do? Take a video. One of the first hot tips I wanted to tell you, I know a lot of my audience is like 35 to 45. And I'm sure we're all doing this, but I have audience members of all ages. And what the young kids are doing now is they're not just sending nudes. They're sending videos, guys. They're sending videos. The iPhone is so funny too. It's like, are you sure? Are you sure? Do you want help? Do you need help? Do you need help? But yeah, that's funny. I just thought of something that I can never share with someone. Okay. Make a video. Mutual masturbation vibes. No. Okay, that's going to be the next tip. Next tip. So cut out mutual masturbation vibes. And I'm going to say, make a video. Instead of it being a hot pic of your tits, sure, why not? The guy's like, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? You know what I have? And I love it, girls. I love it. Can you all see this? This little suction cup thing. If you're listening to the podcast, there's got to be a name for this, and I'm overcomplicating it. A suction cup back. Like the back, I have a silicone thing, an octo buddy, is that what they're called? With a bunch of little suckers on it, and I can stick it on any like flat surface, essentially. Like not a wall, like a mirror, anything, like something, a window. And it gets fire selfies and videos. So put it on a full-length mirror and do a little strip tease. Take your phone, just holding it like selfie. You don't have to have your head in it. You don't gotta put yourself in a situation. It can be just the bod, okay? Y'all could have like a shared note. The shared notes things, guys. You have to wake up on that if your spouse is cheating on you as well. People cheat through the Notes app. Did you know that? Side tangent. But with your husband or your wife, create a note that's shared where you can talk fucking dirty to each other. You can put a nasty picture or video, and it's not in your text thread. And make sure if you have kids that use your devices, that these pictures and videos are stored properly, which they have all kinds of apps for that. Just on your iPhone, you can just do it as a locked video or a locked photo that requires a password, your thumbprint, or your face to view it. So there is a way to be hot, fun, and sexy and spicy and be like, my kids touch my phone and I don't want them to see that, because that would not be fun at all. So I dare you to send a naughty video to your significant. I double dog dare the wives to suction cup that phone up there and bounce, make your boobies bounce, shake your ass, the stuff that you're like, ew, that's not even, he loves it. He fucking loves it. Take your little suction cup octo buddy, put it in the shower and pour the soap on you and suds up. He's going to die. He's going to love it and love you more. He's going to ask you to marry him again. You're welcome. Do that, right? Pause this, suds up, send. You better buy her a gift, okay? Another thing you could do together that maybe y'all are not doing because we want to have sex, right? And you're like, yeah, mutual masturbation. But that's not sex. Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes that's the spice. That's the mix-up. That's something different you need to do. If you have just been, doing your routine, try masturbating in front of each other and no touching. And maybe that rule gets broken, but it gets broken because you couldn't take it any fucking longer and had to go get them. You had to go grab it. You had to go lick it. You had to. So if that rule gets broken because of the longing and lust for your significant other, your spouse, then congratulations. But that's starting off with mutual masturbation or even finishing with mutual masturbation. Like, what a beautiful memory. Okay? Those videotapes could be of some solo plaisir, Get a hobby. Stay-at-home moms. We're not telling the men, if you are if you're in one of these, like a similar role where you're the provider going to work and she's at home with the kids and it's like, she's more taking care of the home front. Please don't get too many hobbies. We'll miss you. But me learning how to golf and now golfing with my husband has been so much fun and kind of sexy as well. Like, love it. We both love it because now he gets to golf more and not gets to like, you're not allowed. Never that. He wouldn't go as much. And that's because he was being a good husband and being around and all the things. And now that we both really want to go, it's like, let's figure out how we're going to go because we both want to go. Let's go. So we get almost like a little date as well. So get a hobby, and it doesn't have to be something that you'll do with him. Getting a hobby, stay-at-home mommies, or like the man that wrote in that's like, I'm always on the home front. If your wife is always the one going to work, whoever, and I'm not trying to diminish what we do at home because I wouldn't like that either. Like we play an integral, a very important role, okay? We play a very important role. We make the house a home. Shut the fuck up. They would die without us, okay? But when we get so caught up, like I am guilty of this, where we get sat and we doom scroll and we kind of know that we do have it cush and easy. I'm not trying to diminish it, but they're, it's also really nice too. It's really nice that we do not have to go to work, okay? That we don't, there is some privilege. There is some. I think it's a privilege to be the one that gets to sit on her ass all day if I really wanted to, okay? Getting a hobby and have something like this podcast for me, golf, working out, things I like to do that are for me, myself, and I. And that now, like my husband, especially when I got this job, it's like they look at you like even more as an individual, at something a little more mysterious, something they don't know all about or understand completely, but are fascinated by you doing it. It's a turn on. It's hot. Remember how when you met each other, you viewed them with curiosity because you didn't know every single thing about them, and it was just endearing, like creating some of that energy again. And if they know every single move that you make and everything about it, not as mysterious. You get what I'm saying? One of those hobbies could include working out. Sign up for a workout class. Join the fucking gym. Make a commitment to get in the best shape of your life. Start eating right. Start a fat diet. Just kidding. I want to be a carnivore so bad, so bad. I swear to God, on the days that I try to be carnivore and just eat eggs, electrolytes, meat, avocado, like raw grass-fed butter with a date and Celtic sea salt, I'm a skinny fucking bitch. I'm hotter and I like look more cut. I do 3 days of that. I'm like, oh, but it's so hard not to go back to the carbs. But doing that, get on a peptide, start your GLP-1 journey, LifeRx.MD, use code housewife or just click the QR code or the link in the description and you'll get $50 off your first month GLP program. Start at $250 a month. But maybe I was going to mention that in that listener question earlier. Maybe it's time for a new chapter. Maybe you're like, I'm feeling crappy and you need something custom tailored like a LifeRx. So maybe that's something you want to check out. There's no contracts, there's no insurance, no subscriptions. Maybe that's a route you want to go. That really would be a fresh, new chapter to becoming your best, healthiest, feel-good version of yourself. We want to feel good. I want to have energy. I don't want to be fighting fatigue. I don't want to be achy. I want to lose the last stubborn 3 to 5 pounds that I should be losing. That's probably hormonal. And peptides or a GLP-1 can be the game changer because if you're, say, I am eating right, say I am active, but like hormones can really get in the way. So whether it's LifeRx or going on a hormone journey, if you're perimenopausal, testosterone, whatever it may be, committing to like, okay, I'm gonna get in the best shape of my life. And whatever like that means. That could just be feeling good and I'm gonna feel the best that I felt. And you can do that at any age. I believe that with all my heart. Know your partner's love language, duh. And then on top of knowing your partner's love language, which I know is a duh, but maybe you're like, I don't know. I've done plenty of episodes about that. You can Google that. You can ask fucking Alexa that. Okay, she'll even know what those are. And utilizing it, knowing that we all communicate differently. We all feel love differently. So sometimes, say you know his love language is acts of service. It's not yours. But like when he's doing all these things for you, that's kind of like the way he shows love. So like, don't forget. They're like, oh, he does love me. That's how he shows it. But on top of that, making sure he knows what your love languages are so that I can bully both of y'all and be like, if you know their love language, don't be a dumb fuck and just love them in the way that you feel loved. Do it the way they feel loved. But just also knowing that if they, they may not know exactly how to utilize theirs, but recognizing when your partner is trying to be loving, even if it doesn't immediately register. Now, beyond knowing their love language, how do they get turned on? I watched Susan Bratton, or she said this on the podcast. We love Susan Bratton. I got to get her back. I got to get her back again. She'll come. She was sharing how she has responsive desire. And she was like, yeah, in my relationship, and she believes that the men should do the heavy lifting. She believes that the men should be the ones being the 80% and the woman being the 20 as far as initiating and setting up sex. Because commonly we find that women have responsive desire. Okay? So it's not just this light switch, whereas men generally, we're generalizing here, and I hate doing that because there's some men that are the complete opposite, so it's not fair, but there's a lot of men. No room. That get turned on quickly. Okay? It doesn't take much. Visually stimulating, physically stimulating. We got it working. We're ready to go. Whereas a woman could need a lot more to get her in that space to really blossom and open up and be ready to receive and experience pleasure and have an orgasm, which can sound daunting to some. But if you know your wife has responsive desire, I guarantee you there's a quiz somewhere online, then you'll also learn what to do, how to go about it. She said that most sexual experiences start with her receiving a yoni massage, which is a pussy massage, from her husband. So it starts there, and once that happens, then she's like, I know that if he puts in the time, the work to getting me in that space, having me lay down, stimulating my erogenous zones, whispering sweet nothings, just the way that she feels loved and turned on, she knows she's going to get there. If he wants to get her there, he can get her there, but he's got to put the work in. So knowing how you get turned on, what gets you in the mood, and how you react, like how you respond in those situations is really important if we want to get somewhere. Because then if you're just in the moment, like, oh, you want to have sex, like you're driving home on a date, like you want to go to our room and fool around. Maybe she's like in a food coma right then. Maybe you're both in a food. You're like, oh, that doesn't even sound that good right now. But instead of like doing that, being open-minded, like, yeah, I could get there. She said she'll wake up and he'll be like, let's have some time later. And she's like, yeah, I could get there. And it's like just leaving the door open of you want it, work for it, dodgy. But if you're just closed off all the time, or if men are not up for the challenge, then it's like, okay, womp, womp, womp. What's going to fucking happen then? Switch off how you climax. Are we in a rut of, and you don't even know, but this could be just like a fun, maybe this doesn't matter at all, but I like to think of it like I think this is fun to do. Especially for the birth control-y girlies. I feel like a lot of guys like want to finish inside you. Like that feels the best for them. Like it feels good. Maybe they have a breeding king. I don't know, whatever. But it is kind of fun, visually, all of it, to mix it up where you finish. Inside, a facial, tits, butt, all of it. So in her mouth, spit it back out. You know what I mean? It could be whatever. But just having this like different ending visual memory can be sexier. You'd be surprised. Could sound pointless, but now that you think of it, do y'all finish the same every single time? Maybe you need to make some rules so you avoid the go-to, unless you're like go-to to climax goes crazy. And you're like, no, that's my come button and we're keeping it that way. But when it always looks like the same foreplay and then it's always the same to finish, it's like, what could you do or incorporate it? Even if you're like, well, Jordan, I really am dependent on the vibrator. You know how I feel about that. Go on a vibe strike, give it 2 weeks and tell me what happens. Yeah, you're going to have, maybe there's going to be no orgasms for a second, but I believe you'll get it back. I know you will. I can't tell you the time frame, but I know you'll get it back. I know you will. It's like our nipples. I like it never got mine back. But even just getting in a different position to use the same toy that you like to be a part of the equation every time. I always talk about like the men getting in their head, I think, because I think about how men have to perform, like the pressure to actually perform. But really, both men and women, get out of your head. That's how you can show up hotter and better in bed today. Get out of your head. It's blocking you from the pleasure and the fun, okay? The mental blocks that women do that crush their orgasm, that keep them stiff, the sex hurts and they're getting in their own way. They have a willing partner who is wanting to arouse them, please them, take the feedback, take the instruction, but she's locked in her head, overthinking, feeling pressure that no one's giving. Maybe it's subconscious pressure from herself. And it is getting in the way. It is taking you out of your body. You're in your head, but you're out of the body, and now you're not in the present. You will immediately become hotter and experience more pleasure when you tap into your body and you practice mindfulness. And I can do it right here, right now, by just envisioning like how my breath is going down, feeling the breath going in and out of my mouth while I'm talking, feeling my fingertips touching each other as I talk. Like you can tap into the body and it really heightens the experience. Husbands, stop pussyfooting around and waiting for a solid green light. Now, this may ruffle some feathers. This may be controversial. And there may be some women, wives, that are going, absolutely not. But just in case they're not, especially for the women that like, maybe they like a more, they like to be submissive in bed and that kind of stuff, then maybe you're like, please scream it louder, scream it louder. A flashing yellow is like an invitation, like, are you ready for a challenge? Challenge accepted, motherfucker, or not, you puss. Like, some men literally wait for a just green light. And that's a good thing. You're like, it's called consent, Jordan, and it's very, very important. True, important, safe. We're married, okay? So I'm not talking about people dating. I'm not talking about going on dates and getting to know someone. I'm talking about the people that have been married forever. And I know there's people that are like, no, something non-consensual can happen when you're married. I understand. I'm talking to a part of the audience where men are being pussies and missing out, and their wife is thinking they're a pussy too. That's the people I'm talking about. The woman who, she could be in the mood, she could not be. She's kind of like caught up in the chaos of the dinner and the kids. But like, yeah, getting laid sounds nice, but she's like in her day. And so he's sensing stress. He's sensing like, oh, she's not seeming very like sexual or welcoming. So like, I won't even try. No. You're putting women in a position where they feel like they have to like be floating around flirty, sexy, and in lingerie for you to pursue. No. Sometimes when we're super fucking stressed out, that's what we want you. We want you to grab our hair and pull it back and give us a deep, passionate kiss and say, put little Timmy to bed, and then go get butt fucking naked and lay in that bed. And I'm going to be right there and I'm going to give you a massage. I'll be right back. And then when you get a boner, when you're rubbing her, maybe she'll touch it and do something with it and say, you may enter. So stop waiting for a blaring green light. If you know, you know. I think they'll have a little inkling, be like, oh, I think I know you're talking to me. Then that's who I'm talking to. Okay? Last two tips I have, take a beducated course. Boom. If y'all took a beducated course tonight, you will wake up tomorrow being a better lover. That's a fact. And there's no need to discuss further. When you do it, you'll understand and you'll know, and you'll say she was exactly right. Okay. Last but not least, could be uncomfortable, but ask for feedback. Ask for feedback. Before, during, and after. We don't want to be annoying. I think you can like gauge in the moment, but just checking in of how something feels, if the pressure's right. I think that's really important, thoughtful, and then ultimately going to be a more pleasurable experience. During like pillow talk, post-nut clarity would be another great time to check in. And I feel like you can tell when someone's just being sweet and like icing over. And so if there needs to be a time to revisit to actually talk about the sex, maybe something you're interested in doing, maybe to bring up like you want to take a beducated course together or whatever, but making sure that you're like, the lines of communication are open and I'm open to feedback and I'm not going to take it as a personal attack, but I'm telling you this so that I can be a better lover and we can have good, hot sex. So that's sexy. That's hot. And that is why I really do believe that when you have a long-term partner, when you're married, yeah, you go through the ups and the downs. And yeah, there's something about that new, ravenous, like exploratory beginning phase hot sex. But there is also something about established partners who know one another's turn-ons and bodies and what they're capable of and what they want to do and going to like a deeper level than you could go in that beginning phase. Like no self-conscious, like doing the whole damn thing. I don't give a fuck. I feel very brave. I feel supported. I feel seen. I feel loved. I'm not scared. That is where hot sex is born and lives and thrives. Okay. I hope you liked today's episode. Please give me 5 stars on Apple Podcasts or a rating on Spotify. Make sure you're subscribed to the show, following the show. If you want to watch on YouTube, if you don't want to watch on YouTube, still follow me over on YouTube. Click the little notification bell to keep you updated and in the loop. Follow me on social media at THHPod. Follow me over on TikTok on my personal yapping account because I have no followers, and on the podcast page. Love you long time and see you next week.